What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Rich's Kitchen featuring just me today. No Tony, I'm afraid. She'll be in another one soon. Hope you enjoyed the one that I did with Tony, the chocolate orange mousse cake tart thing, and there'll be more of those soon. But today I'm doing something a little bit different, a little bit experimental, tasty, should say as well. Obviously, they're all going to be tasty. I'm doing a savoury cheesecake with chive and sesame puff pastry base. So that does sound a little bit daunting, I can understand, to someone that's not very confident in the kitchen, but I'm going to make it as easy as possible for you to follow with this step-by-step video. So let's get started. What you'll need first is an apron. Oh, well, I guess that did work. Cool. So, let's get started. What you will need for the ingredients is okay, now, firstly, we are going to start by puffing our puff pastry. Here, I've said before in one of my previous vlogs, by the way, I'm using pre-made puff pastry just because why make your own when this is just as good? Unless you want to show off, obviously. I probably will do a vlog soon where I do show how to make puff pastry, but for now, we're using this. So, we're going to roll out our puff pastry, puff it up in the oven until it's golden brown at 180 for around 10 to 15 minutes. Going to wait for that to cool, crumble it up, and then mix it with our sesame and a little bit of butter to bind it together for our base. But I'm going to show you how to do that, so don't worry. So, as you can see, our puff pastry has come out of the oven. I've literally just cut it up into squares just so it can cool down quicker. And then we're going to crumble it up and mix it with some butter and sesame seeds and salt to create our base. Then we'll push it into our moulds and set that in the fridge for later. Now what I'm simply going to do is weigh out some butter, 150 grams to be exact, mix it in here with a little bit of salt and sesame seeds, and that will come together nicely. Next up, adding the sesame seeds. As you can see, the butter has bound it together nicely, which is exactly what we want. Add a good 50 grams, I'd say, of sesame seeds. We really want that flavour and that crunch to come through. And as I said, because I'm using unsalted butter, I'm going to add a bit of seasoning as well. That is incredible. Now what we're going to do is take our flat baking sheet. We are going to take 4 7cm ring moulds, which I've greased very, very lightly around the edges. We're going to get our mixture, which should look like that. That's the consistency you're looking for. And using a spoon, we're simply just going to press it down into the moulds with a nice smooth surface. So, once you've filled your moulds, what I like to do, just to make it easier in the long run, is just lift up the moulds a little bit, because when you come to take them off, this is the bit they're going to stick to. Not much, just a few millimetres off the surface, just so it makes it easier for later on. Now that we've done that, I'm going to put these in the fridge to set while we make the cheese part of our savoury cheesecake. For the cheesecake part of the recipe, what we're going to do is we're going to take 250 grams of this Castello pineapple cheese. Don't know if you've seen it before. Is that a bit blurred, or can you see that? Yeah. Usually this recipe would include goat's cheese, but Tony hates goat's cheese, and to be honest, I'm not too fond of it either. And this Castello cheese is absolutely amazing. So you can really use any kind of soft cheese that you want, it's just down to your preference. So yeah, 250 grams of that. We're going to use 100 grams of just normal cream cheese. We're going to mix those together in my KitchenAid. I'm going to slice up some chives. I'm going to warm up some double cream. I'm going to take 1 leaf of gelatin, soak that in some cold water as we usually do, mix that into the double cream when it's warm, pour that into our cheese, give it another mix, season it, add the chives, and then pour it on top of our moulds and leave that to sit in the fridge for a good 2 hours. So I will film myself doing all that now. Enjoy! Not sure if I did say, but you will need 150 mils of double cream, which I'm just going to warm up now over a low to medium heat. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my gelatin that has been soaking for a good 5 minutes now. I'm going to squeeze out any excess water. This is just 1 leaf of gelatin that we're using. Squeeze out as much water as you can and simply put it into our warm cream. Mix immediately until it's fully dissolved, making sure you get into the cracks of the pan. And as you can see, well, I don't know if you can see on camera, it's almost immediately melted. That's how quickly it happens. But the thing with gelatin, it can stick to the pan quite easily, so just like I said, make sure you get into the sides, scrape the bottom until you're confident that it's all melted. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour my cream into my cheese mixture, give it a mix. I'm going to add my chives. One more taste. Amazing, and that is done. So now we are going to get our ramekins. I've put our mixture inside a piping bag so it's easy to get into our rings without making a mess. And simply just pipe it in until you reach the top. So that is that done for now. We're now going to set these in the fridge for at least 2 to 3 hours while we make our onion chutney slash caramelised onion topping thing. Back in a sec. My battery's running out, so this will be quick. What I'm going to do now is slice some red onion really thinly, around, I think I just need one. Yeah, 1 red onion, because they're quite small, the cheesecakes. So yeah, slice 1 red onion. Gonna get that onto fry. We're gonna do what we did in a few vlogs ago, where we sweat the onion. So we get it on a high heat, get it coated in butter and salt, bring it down to a really low heat, make a cartouche, really damp cartouche I should say, so it doesn't brown on the bottom. Cover that on a really, really low heat and leave that for a good ½ hour. We're then going to add some sugar, some vinegar and some pepper to season it, and then we'll leave that to cool, and that should be our onion done. So our onions have been sweating for a good half hour to 40 minutes. I am going to add vinegar, salt, little bit of pepper and a little bit of sugar. Sweeten it up, season it up rather, and let that cool down, and then we'll add that to the top of our cheesecakes. So, as you can see, our cheesecakes are set, done, ready for the onion chutney. Tony's home and she's nearly ready to try one. What I'm simply going to do is just decorate the top with a little bit of caramelised onion. So there we are. They are done. That is how you make a savoury cheesecake with caramelised onion and a sesame puff pastry base. Thanks for joining me on another episode of Rich's Kitchen. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe and let me know if you want me to cook anything for you. Just let me know in the comments, and thanks. See you next time. A savoury cheese chive cheesecake with a puff sesame base and caramelised red onion.
Good.
Is it? How good?
Oh my god, it's so good.
Is it? Oh, good. I'll do that again.
Oh, it's nice. I'm trying to say savoury.
See you later.
Oh, you've got to try it.